Hello everyone, this is Vicky StitchNButton. I'm here for Flosstube number 96. Today is December the 15th. It's my bi-weekly Wednesday. I have some finishes. I did, so basically everything I'm going to show you is done except for one that I had started on and then I realized I am not going to be able to finish it by the end of the month. So this month I am focusing basically on finishes. Anything that I think could potentially be a finish, I will work on. I picked up one and started doing the stitching on it, and I was like, no, this isn't going to be one. So I moved on to another. But I do have finishes, and I don't think I'm done finishing for the year yet. There's still a few more that I think that I can knock out before the end of the year. At least one, if not two, depending. I mean, we only have a couple more weeks. I've been really busy. I cut out more bags. I came up with a new product to offer. I mean, there's versions of it out there. I just decided to start making some because I think it's a good idea. And I've been doing some Cricut things that I made that. I have something I could show you that I made and started offering in the past week or two, I think. So let's get to it. I have finishes. I have one whip. I have some mail. I have a couple of things that came in that I ordered. I have the giveaway winners to announce, and I have a couple of new products to offer. Oh, and one announcement. I have decided to close my Etsy shop at the end of the year. It is not bringing in the revenue that it used to. I think probably because I had the Facebook group, so most people buy from the Facebook group. Some buy from the Instagram, not as many, but it's mostly the Facebook group. Not only that, anyone that's watching me that has an Etsy store knows that there's been some struggles and some things that they've been doing that are not so agreeable. For those that don't, they've raised our fees. So they give you a base fee to put your listing. Then they charge you a base fee when it sells. Then a percentage on top of that. So it's going to be so much and then a percentage of what the total item was. I say that, the total item along with the shipping. So you even get charged for the shipping. They take a fee. They also started this thing about, I want to say it had to be a little bit over a year ago, where if you didn't offer free shipping for purchases over $35 for domestic shipping, they were not going to put you in the search engine. Or I didn't say not put you, but pretty much you weren't going to be anywhere near the top. So say if you put in project bag and I didn't offer free shipping for over $35, I'd be on page 100 and something of the whole search thing, and nobody goes that far down to do a search. Come on, most of the time we're picking off the first 1 to 3 pages. Then they implemented another thing where they started advertising on different platforms, Google, and I guess different. They don't tell you where they're putting your ads, or which search engines they're buying space for. So if somebody were to do a search and one of my items came up and they clicked on it, if they purchased it within 30 days, they would charge an extra 10% on top of all the fees that they were already offering, charging us. And there's no proof. There's no proof of where they clicked from. They don't tell you. They don't tell you when it was clicked on. You get nothing from that. I didn't see any increase in sales since they've done that, although I've had at least 2 of those randomly extra charged. And then on top of that, when I stock my things, I have so if I have 10 of something on the group, don't mind the nails. This one broke. That one finally broke. It grew out enough so I could take it, and I just haven't had time to do them. back to the Etsy thing. So if I have 10 of something on my group and I sell one, that means I have to go to Etsy and then make that 9 along with the one that's on my group, and vice versa. And so it's just too many places, and I don't need it. Now they also want to do 1099 forms. They want your tax information and do the 1099 forms. And I just feel like it's never going to end. It's always going to be but one more thing. You know, it's a episode of Columbo. Hey, one more thing. So I'm just done. For now, I'm done. So I'm going to close it on the 31st. So short story long, I'm closing the Etsy shop. But my problem right now is I bought about 1,000 business cards, and they had the Etsy shop listed on there. I basically have a sticker I'm just putting right over the Etsy address, just because I'm not going to waste them. I use them for backers on the needle minders I sell. I throw them in the bags and stuff like that, so I'm not going to waste them. I paid good money for them. So that's that. All right, so let's get on to finishes. I actually finished one today too. So all the finishes until the one today, I actually even got to iron them because I was ironing bags until like 4 o'clock in the morning the other night. All right, this one. This is Celestial Angel, and I already did a giveaway on my group for it, and it is off to its new owner. But this is my working copy, well, the instructions and the cutout for the heart. But this is 1989 Celestial Angel from Homespun, Elegance. It was a kit. I had done a couple of kits previously. This was at the freebie table at Stitch West, and I finished him up real quick. Didn't take long. I used their little backstitch letter numbers that they had at the bottom of the chart to put in this year, and I ironed him. And I also have a piece of fabric that I'm going to use for the back. I decided to use this. I thought that would look cute on the back. And then I just have to cut it in a heart shape. I even put the interface on the back of it in a heart shape. So when I get a chance, I will smack that together. Let me see. So I still have all this stuff. This is to sew it closed and to make the cording that goes around it. Done. This little piece of thread goes in there. All right. So that's one. Then I have today's is on top. This one is Prairie Moon I-31 Get Up and Run. I bought this. They had one in a shop by chance. I saw Pam from Pam and Steph Just Keep Stitching. Pam had stitched this. I really liked it. I happened to be shopping on the internet. I don't even remember which website it was on. They don't have their name on it. So, and I found it and I purchased it. Now, I did look. Prairie Moon does not have this as one of their overpriced PDF files that they offer. If anybody has gone to their site, they see how much. They're running anywhere from $18 to $36 for a PDF download of their old things. Comparatively, for what the charts were selling for, yes, that is less expensive. I still don't agree with that. Anyway, I bought this. Now, this also on the color key was pre-written on, and I'm assuming that it was the designer that did that. Once they did the print, they decided that they made a mistake, and they did that. I almost couldn't read that handwriting, believe it or not. Real cute, and I thought it said bright teal. I think it says bright leaf, though. And I did actually have that thread. I used most of the called for threads on this. I think I substituted mascara for something else. I stitched this on 28 count Lugana Cauldron Lugana from Picture This Plus. And I probably should have done it sideways on this and saved half the fabric, but I didn't, so it is what it is. Here it is. Now, I also made a couple of changes. One, they had a whole bunch more back stitching required on this that I didn't agree with. So I did not back stitch the moon. I did back stitch around the label on this and around the lid. I back stitch around the back because I felt like it needed it. I back stitched the back of her hair and the eyes. And then I back stitched this zombie hand, and I also added 2 more stitches to the zombie hand because it just looked really weird to me. Now, my major thing is I moved 31. I know it's called I-31, but it's like an eyeball 31. 31 is an N number in bingo, and I couldn't leave it under I, so 31 was supposed to go here, the cat was supposed to go here, the hand was supposed to go here. I decided since there was like head, mouth, I put the cat head over here, I put the hand over here. So that is my version of I-31 Get Up and Run. I like it. I will probably put it in a frame unless I find a cool board to put it on. But I think for right now it'll end up going into a frame. That's my thought. Next one. Get rid of this and put this over here. Next one I finished. True Colors. True Colors is a free chart offered by StitchLifeMagazine.com. They do have a group on Facebook, and this is what it was. I was contacted and asked if I wanted to join. Of course I do. So I went and picked out some fabric. I ended up picking Crystal Whimsy from Picture This Plus. It's a 28 count Lugana. Now, I used most of their colors that they called for, except for when I came to True Colors, I ended up picking an overdyed thread instead of changing out every 3 stitches. And then I found I didn't pull quite enough thread when I was finishing up the little petals, so I used what I had and some of the pieces from the overdyed, and this is what I came up with. I also messed up on this urn. I was supposed to do some other situation in here, and I ended up doing it 2 spaces below it, so I just fudged it, so it's slightly higher. It's fine. It's fine. But I'm finished with that, and I like it. I think I'm going to end up framing this so you can see the sparkle now. I think it looks good. So, that one's that. And I could put this in the trash. I don't need that. Alright. Then I finished Wish Upon a Star. Wish Upon a Star is from Connie G's Designs. She used to be on Etsy, and I'm pretty sure she also closed her Etsy shop. This was a sale, I think it was hashtag Connie G's Design Sale or something like that, that we had done we had started last year, I think, in the beginning of the year on Virtual Stitchers. I pulled it, and I used regular white, and then I used these overdyed threads from Victoria Motto. I don't know if you can get any of these. You know how they go. You either get the one to the month or the special packs, but this is what I used. This was blue. There you go. And gold and red. Put that over there. I put it on 28 count Vintage Country Mocha Vincomo, and I think I'm going to finish it into a drum. I'm happy with that finish. There you go. I think it'll look cute as a drum. It'll be probably like a narrower, tall drum instead of one of those larger, fat ones. But I think it'll look cute. That was an easy stitch. I don't know that she'll be opening up her Etsy store anymore. And it's a PDF design, so I can't even offer it to give it to somebody else. Another one. Let's see. I finished my ladybug. This is Lady Queen from Fox and Rabbit Designs. Matter of fact, that's the chart. Lady Queen, Fox and Rabbit. This is one of the newer ones. She's got the one where she's got the 4 in a circle. I like the singles, so I did this one. It worked out really quick, and it was a joy to stitch. Loved it. I believe I used all the called for threads, and the fabric I used is a, hang on, I got it right here, 32 count Belfast linen called Oopsie Daisy, because it has that little blue mark. I'm not even worried about it. I think it's fine. It's from Lappin' Loops on Etsy. Here you go. She is the daughter of Becky Nolan, who is the designer of Lucy Beam Love and Stitches. And she's on Etsy under Lappin' Loops. I think it's all one word. And that's where I found that. I also have a blue fabric that I had purchased from her. I think this is the second time I've used this. I think this was the last of this fabric because I have my Alice in Wonderland on a piece of this. And that could possibly be a finish by the end of the year. Let me put a little bit of plans in on this one. My next is this one. This is the one I want to do next. This one's the PDF that I purchased from their website. I also purchased, at the same time, the Monarch. So I like those two to go with that one. Go with my Lady Queen. I just need to finish kitting it up. I saved a couple of the threads that I knew I was going to use on the card, and I still have to pick fabric and stuff, so that's in plans. I'm not sure if I'll get that started this year or not. Next, okay, I have the, I think I sent, yeah, I already sent the charts going to somebody. So, I kept this to let you know that this is on 28 count blue wing linen. I don't know who the manufacturer is. And it's Oh Too Tight from Sue Hillis. I didn't do all of the snowflakes. I did some of the larger ones, and I didn't do the little dots. The only reason why I did the dots down here is because I felt like it was like the aftermath of his head popping off. I also changed out the blues and the pinks that they called for. I used variegated instead of changing out the colors. And then I didn't have it, the blue was sort of blended in here, so I used pink instead. And they are done, and I even ironed the interface on the back because I wanted it to stand out a little bit better so it looked good. So I'll frame that one. I think I cut the interface even to a 5x7 so it'll fit into a standard frame. I think that's going to look cute. Very cute, very funny. That is still available. I used Cool Azul and Raspberry Sorbet. I think the pink was the Raspberry Sorbet, and I think that was from, I think that was a 6-strand Sweets. And I can't remember where the Cool Azul came from. That might be a Color and Cotton or Classic Colorworks. I'm not sure. But that goes in the trash. Now, I do have a whip that I worked on. My whip is in this, and I kept this like this so I could show you. Years ago, my friend Gina and I had gone to the farmer's market, and they were selling these bags. And they didn't have many left, and she picked one, I picked one. I wish we had money to get the couple left that they had because they're really handy bags. They have this, and this opens up. That's a pocket in there. Then they have the center one, which you can snap out if you wanted to. And then they have this pocket over here, and it all snaps shut. So you can carry it along. What I've dubbed this as, my head itches, guys, my forehead. This is my Mill Hill kit holder. And I think, I don't know that I have any other Mill Hills. If I do, they're in a bin with other kitted things, but I put all my smalls in here that I found that were laying around, except for this isn't a Mill Hill, but it's just cute. I do want to stitch that. I think it's just too cute. I have some Frosty, what's this one? Taboo Kitty. This is these, this one, and this one, Megan, Stitch in May, sent me, and I believe Vicky, Reading and Stitching, sent me these, I think. but eventually I'll get those done, so I put them all in here. And then I have 2 of the larger ones, which fit in a 6x6 stretcher. I have this one. It's called Winter Woods, and it has the little red cardinal. I think that's really pretty. And then I had purchased Joy to the World. And it's got the little house button that goes with it. I think that's cute. So, but for now, I am still, rather, working on Winter Wonderland. Now, if you remember, it's been a while since I've shown this. I've decided I don't like that bunny. I don't like the bunny button. I don't see why it's on there. It doesn't really, no. The bunny reminds me of Easter. Honestly, and I'm not crazy about it. So, not doing the bunny. I'm just going to stitch that, and if I figure out something else to put there, I might have like a snowflake or some kind of crystal or something I want to put on there. But for now, here's where it's at. I ended up stitching all of this blue in here, and then I had to fill in some blue around here. And it's all 3 strands. There you go. Yeah, see? It's all 3 strands. So, it's a lot easier to work on with these stretcher bars. You can get these. Usually your LNS has them. I think I'm almost positive I purchased mine from Jen at the Whole Stitch and Caboodle. She's got a group on Facebook. She ordered them for me, and what you do is you order a set of 2 because it'll come with 2 sides. Now, these are 6x6 minis. I have the regular 6x6, but they're way too wide. So, yes, it works, but then it cuts off a whole bunch of stitching area. So, I ordered a larger one of the regular size, I think a 7x7, and that didn't work. It was too big. So then I found out they had the minis. I had her order me 2 sets of the minis so I could put them together and make a 6x6, and that's what the back looks like. If you want to see my back, it's not extra pretty because of the 3 strands and everything, but there it is. And then you order a box of tacks. The tacks come with even a little pry thing so you can get up under there and take them out. Just lay it on there and put the tack through. Now, I didn't pierce the paper itself. I just chose an open hole that was already pre-stamped in there because I don't want to rip it or make it any flimsier than it is because it is paper. So 6x6 minis are perfect for this. Now, I mean, if you like the lighter feel of something like this, you can. They do needlepoint. Most of the time, these are for needlepoint or for stretching canvas over canvas paintings and stuff. So you can match. That's why I said you have to get 2 sets. You can get a set of 6x8s. You can get 11x11s. They have. I think they go 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 like that. I think they go each inch up. So feel free. But this is the 6x6 minis and a box of tacks that comes with the little pry thing, which I don't have here to show you. I should probably keep it in here, but I don't. I put all my threads because you know how they sort them for you. They don't. And I put them in order as to where they're on the page on this little, I think this was Half Moon Handworks, it's called, .com. And I got this as a freebie from one of the retreats that I'd gone to. I think it was a Prim Stitcher Society retreat. It's a little strawberry, and it's got a little lobster claw on it. So I just put them on there. The holes are a little small, though, on this. So it's a little art pain in the rear end to get the threads on and off. But it's cute. So that's where I'm at with that. I thought I could finish it, but once I started looking, I could finish the trees and possibly the whole situation around the edge, but there's no way I could do that and all the beads. I just don't trust myself to stick to it, so I'm not going to set myself up for failure on that. But I did get some progress, and every stitch counts, so there's that. I think I ended up doing a good 200 stitches on it before I called it a day and decided it wasn't going to get done. So there's that. All right. Rambling, rambling, rambling. What did I get in the mail? I received some stuff in the mail. I received a card from Karen Gonzalez. She sent me this pretty little Asian tree card, and it's kind of shiny. It's got some glitter on it. It's got herpes. It's got craft herpes. Sent that, and I'm gonna have to keep it in a keepsakes box. Actually, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do in a minute when I get to my next thing. But I can put it on my magnet board. And then I received the card from Pam and Steph. Thanks, guys. I love this. Now I feel like I'm torn. I might put it up on the board and take your old ones down and make floss drops out of them so I can have you on my floss drops. And it has Deck the Halls, Sent with Love from Pam and Steph, and then on the back has a little burble on the back and another picture, so you get a bonus picture of them. Thank you, girls. All right. And then I received a card from Amy Rodriguez, Amy DeVille. She sent me a card from her and Sean and her daughter. I love penguins. That's another thing that I wanted to tell you about. I decided that my Riolis kit that I said I wanted to start, the penguins, there's a little backstory to that. I will insert a picture here. I have said in previous years, almost every New Year, I reminisce about the times I was in the Mummers and I helped with the costumes and stuff for the parades. One of the things I had to do every year was get these guys dressed. This set of 3 guys that dressed up as penguins, and they'd be in a full suit, as you can see in the picture that I showed. And then there's these foot things that they're yellow and they're cut out and they look like little penguin feet. And I would have to get their foot things on their shoes correctly so they didn't flop around and everything. So I'd have to be on my knees on Broad Street on New Year's in front of 3 guys. So that never sounds good. There's never a good way to say it. There's never a good visual of that. And so you just have to go with the joke. But anyway, good times, good times. I decided to save my penguins for New Year's. It's going to be my New Year, New Start. So the penguins will wait for that. I don't know that I'll have any other new starts before that because I'm trying to get bags done. I'm trying to get other things done. I'm trying to get stitching done. So, but New Year, New Start is definitely going to be the penguins. And so this even means more. Okay. I received in the mail a package. It is from my friend Di in South Philly, and it was all in this little baggie, right? And I got this chart from New York Dreamer, No Talkie Before Coffee. I got some fabric. She said she didn't know what to do with it. Well, guess what? I have corn on the cob fabric that I think this, because I still have one of the corn bags left, but I think I can make bags out of with this as the inside for the corn. Because I have the corn, and I don't know that I have anything else, but she knew I'd be able to find something to do with it. I got a little journal, Create What You Love, and it's got these great little pages in there, the flowers. This, I can hang cards up with these. I'm going to put magnets on the back, see? And then I can hang those up with my I need to redo my magnet board anyway, because, you know, it sits up there the same way for how long, and then everything just looks the same. You got to refresh it up. Now, she knows how much I love the 1 tube she sent me, so she sent me a set of 3. I think she said she bought these at Hobby Lobby. She either bought them at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. I think she said Hobby Lobby. And I think Sewology is a Hobby Lobby thing. And then she sent these little button things. They're just button fronts. I started to open it, and then I decided to put it back. They're the button fronts. I can put magnets or something in it or glue them on something. I think they're cute. I'll find something to do with those. And this is Artiste fabric, 32 count Murano, and it says gray, but there's also a brown in there, and it's gingham even weave, and then this cute bag. And this can finally go on my door. A little door hanger. And this for when I'm in the living room on the chair, which I'm not often, but this will come in handy because I could have used this when I was watching movies with Frank the other day. And it's one of those bags. It actually, it's like a vinyl, so it'll be easy to wipe off. And this is weighted, so this will sit on it's got sand in it or something. So it'll be weighted, so it'll sit, so you can put your stuff in there. And then she also sent me a little card. She said this is for birthday and Christmas. I can choose what's for what. And it's got this great little card with the glitter on it. More herpes. Oh, and this chart. Foxwood Crossing chart. It's the bread sleds, the gingerbread guys, which I have a bunch of these sleds. I can stitch that on. So, thank you, Di. I already called her. We already caught up. So, what's next? Okay. I'll just push this to the side for right now. I need to make room. I have, oops. Oh, please. It didn't break, I swear. See? I have a couple of things that I got in the mail. Here. Romy's Creations. Romina. She was in town. Well, I say in town. She was in the state because she's from Italy, and she had flown over for the Williamsburg something or other. There was a retreat, and I forget it. I think Christmas in Williamsburg or something like that. And she had put up on her group that she was still there, and if you were interested in getting stuff, to let her know because she could ship it while she was there. It saves on shipping. And so she didn't have any of her charts, though. But she still had her thread, so I told her, I said, pick out 10. No, I said, no white, no black. Pick out 10. And bill me. So that's what she did. And I received these great colors in the mail. Let me see. There's actually 12 here. And I will show them to you because I know I don't see a lot of people using them, and I think they're great colors. This is Artichoke. It's got purple and green. Gentle Violet, which is shades of violet. Garnet. It's a good red. Autumn Corals. It really is autumny corals, isn't it? This one, Lilium. I think it's Lilium. Is that a flower? I am not sure. That's a new term for me. Stacy's Primitive Blue. I wonder if she's talking about Stacy Nash. Could be. Fuchsia. I wonder. It's a little pinker. This is coming up red on my screen, but it is a little, it's a fuchsia. Here's Eggplant Mistletoe. How apropos for Christmas. Camouflaged. And Mommy Mustard. And Rusted. Which, this is coming up a little brighter on the screen. It's a little bit more muted than that. Love those colors. Not sure what I'll use them for, but, you know, me and my threads. I gotta have lots of threads. Okay, and then, how rude. Here's some crinkling for you. Just remember, crinkling means there's something good to come. if I could find the edge without totally crinkling the whole video. I know it's there. Ah. I received it, and I put it in the bin to show for Flosstube. I didn't even take it all out. How about that? Okay, I don't need that anyway. This is Venus and Serena from Fortnite Fabrics. This is 28 count. This will be my next to last piece. I'm still waiting on my December. I have loved every piece that I've gotten so far from them, but I'm not doing any of the month things. I don't think I'm coming up with any monthly subscriptions this year. This almost has a faint cinnamon smell to it. So here goes Venus and Serena. It's purple and lavenders, and I love that. It's really pretty. Good job, guys. Yeah, so I am not going to sign up for next year's. Not because I wasn't happy, just because I'm just scaling back, and I feel like I want to start not being so surprised with what I purchase ahead of time. I can always go on the site and just buy one. So there's that. All right. Now, winners and what I am making, what I'm up to. So I will do the winners first, and then I will show you what I've made. I went and I brought up the last video link, and I put it through the random comment picker, and I did a search for winter first. The first one to win was for Winter's Grace, and that's Anne Musso. And I do have your address, so I will be sending this one out to you. Winter's Grace from Joan Elliott Designs. The second one I did, I saw a lot of comments for Angel and Angels, even though I said Angels with an S on it, but that's fine. I just did a search for Angel, and it brought up. And Roxanne Green, you won the Angel Proclamation. Yeah, that's what it's called. So, Roxanne, I do not have your address that I know of. It's not a familiar name for me, Roxanne Green. So, if you will either email me at StitchNButton@gmail.com or contact me through Instagram, on Instagram, the Stitch and Button Crafts, or on Facebook, that's fine. Just let me know your address where I can send this to, and I will get those out to you. This is, what, the 15th. So my next video won't be until, let me look, the 29th, which is after Christmas. But it's before New Year's. So, hopefully, if you guys get back, well, if Roxanne gets back to me quick, maybe you'll get this by Christmas. And I have your address, so I can probably get this in the mail by tomorrow. Last bit of business that I can think of. I'm looking around, looking to see if there's anything else. I think that's it. Okay. Oh. I wrote a list, guys, and you'd think I'd look at it. Oh, the only other thing is I've been watching a lot of Flosstube while I was cutting fabric and ironing and everything. I think if you're on my group, you saw that I was up until like 4 o'clock in the morning ironing. I was in a zen, and I've been watching Flosstubes. One of the ones I've been watching is Stitching Goddess Designs. She's been doing a Flossmas. I know there's a Vlogmas, but she's doing a Flossmas. And I was behind on a couple of hers anyway since before December. So I started catching up. I'm still not totally caught up. I think I'm only up to day 8. But I caught up to day 8 anyway with her. And I watched Belinda, Aussie Stitcher, had put one out. The 614 Stitcher, I think I'm all but the last one. I haven't watched the last one. Janet Jaberite. I usually watch like 2 or 3 of hers at a time. She does her, I think, every week. So I get so behind on Flosstubes. Yeah, so there's been a couple of more regular ones that I watch. But Stitching Goddess Design, she's under 1,000 sub club, guys. So give her a look. I'll put her link down below so you can check her out. I decided to make little art books, and because I have the thing to put the snaps, and this is what I've made so far. Basically, I have to iron it. Yeah, so you can lay it flat, put your orts on it, then when you're done, you can snap it shut and throw it. This is good for when you're on the go. It'll stick there, and then you can close it shut so they're not falling off the felt while you're in transit. I cut out a whole bunch, but these are the two that I have made so far because I need to get back to sewing. I stopped sewing yesterday for one reason or another, and I just didn't get back into sewing. It happens. I also got in tote bags, and I came up with some ideas. I'll put pictures here. I have one that says ABC, always bring cross stitch. And then I had another one. I can't remember what it said, guys. Stitching Witch. And right now I'm looking, I have red bags and black bags. I think that's what I have in stock right now that I can make more stuff out of. But I have a couple of these bags left. Matter of fact, I have two of this exact one. It says I have OCSD, Obsessive Cross-Stitch Disorder. Yes, I do. Besides, I have some OCD tendencies. I also have Obsessive Cross-Stitch Disorder. So these totes are pretty decent. I had made these for the Stitch Wish girls that we were hanging out with. And it's got a big area here that fits at least 4 or 5 project bags. It zips up at the top, and then it has the pocket on the side. It's got the box bottom, and it wipes off pretty decent because apparently Sammy had to clean hers off with soda. But I have those, and I have the art books, and I have some bags. I know it's going to be a little bit late, but there's some Christmas bags, and then there's some non-Christmas bags in there. I have a vintage baseball, vintage diner ones, and some other smatterings of bags. I'm looking at the pile over there that is calling to me. So that's all I got. So I hope everyone is doing well. I hope that if you are doing any shopping that you're done and you're ready for your holidays, whichever holiday that may be, and hang in there. I know the holidays can be very stressful. I am not doing much for the holidays. Frank has to work, so I'll probably be here by myself, which is fine. Please don't feel sorry for me. I have plenty I can do and keep myself busy. Oh, one more thing I need to do is, and I'll probably show it finished in my next video, is I bought this at the dollar store. I just have to wipe it off. It's got a sticker thing on there. But it's plastic, and it's got a screw bottom. So it's basically supposed to look like a mason jar or a jar of some sort, ornament, and I'm going to put my orts in it. I'm going to clean it up, and I'm going to use my Cricut to put 2021, and I'm going to put my orts in it. In the past, I've had the larger round plastic balls that I put them all in, but I saw this and I thought this was cute. And in the past, I've also drawn with a Sharpie marker on it, but now I have the Cricut, so I can just do the numbers and put it on there real quick. I also have other ornaments I started to make, and it's going to be way too late for this year, and I had to do trial and error to see what worked best anyway, so, but it's fine. It's fine. I've got other things. I'm going to be ready for Christmas next year, by the way. Just because I came up with late ideas, or I didn't get to them. Some of them I've had for like 2 months, but I just didn't get to them. You know how it goes. So, I will see you in about 2 weeks with another update. Hopefully I have at least one finished, maybe 2. I don't know. Cross your fingers. We'll see. And I hope everyone has a great holiday if you celebrate, or a great life. Let's just say a great 2 weeks. How about that? And for those, also, for those that were in the path of the tornado, wow. Wow, that was scary, guys. That was really scary. I hope none of you have gotten the damage that I've been seeing on there. And of course, I wish the best for those. And if you're in the area and can help, please help. I'm assuming that if you are in the area and you can help, you're already helping. So let's just go with that. I still try to keep my faith in humanity as it is. Don't forget, don't let anyone steal your sunshine. Bye.